Hey, good morning. How are you?
Hello and welcome to MissouriNet.com. I'm Bill Pollack. An exciting weekend in terms of high school sports in the state of Missouri as we found out the new locations for the football and basketball championships coming up for the future. And down at the Lake on remote location today, we have Jason West from Michigan. First of all, Jason, where are you today?
We are at Tantera and at the MSHSAA annual conference. So this is one of those meetings that are kind of outside of our preview, but we're down here connecting with the membership and the athletic directors from member schools and answering questions and giving away door prizes and 50-50 tickets and things like that. So you may hear something in the background.
Yeah, there's a lot happening for 9 o'clock on a Monday morning. You guys are hopping already.
Oh yeah, these guys, a lot of them came in last night, and we're here working on Sundays as well. So they're definitely putting their hours in.
All right, well, let's talk about a couple of the decisions that came down over the weekend, and we'll start first with football. The championships will not be held at the Dome this year. Instead, Springfield gets the championships for classes 1 through 6, and then Mizzou the following year. Why don't you just take us through that whole process quickly?
Sure. We did put out requesting for proposals for the next 2 seasons. That's why we only awarded contracts for 2 seasons. There may be some other things coming down in the future, and didn't want to get too far into a contract with one venue and have to make changes to that. So for this coming fall, Springfield will be able to host it at Plaster Stadium, and then the next season for 2017, Faurot Field and the University of Missouri will be able to host it in Columbia.
And for Mizzou fans, obviously they couldn't have done it this year. I don't think it would have made sense. And maybe you can clear this up, Jason, but Mizzou will be playing Arkansas the day after Thanksgiving, and that's a game now that's been on Fridays, so it certainly wouldn't work for this season.
Right, and that would have been too much of a changeover and things like that to be able to, since they'll have their game on Friday, and the responsibilities that they have for walkthroughs and things like that. It would have been too much to have everything played on Saturday or even push it back further. So that's why Springfield submitted a proposal for 2016, and then Columbia submitted their proposal for 2017. We still do that, and those are only for the 11-man classes 1 through 6. We still have 2 other proposals to go through for the 8-man contest. Both Springfield and Columbia, their proposals did include 8-man, but then Cameron and Chillicothe both put in proposals to host just the 8-man contest, and we're hoping to visit those sites early next week, possibly even as early as Monday, to be able to get some information to the board on those 2 facilities as well.
All right, and to go to 8-man here, is it possible that Springfield and Columbia could still host the 8-man, or is it down between Cameron and Chillicothe, or you just want to look at them first and determine?
That's still a possibility of having all 7 games at the same location. That not only do we need to visit the facilities at Cameron and Chillicothe, we also need to talk to the schools in 8-man and the 8-man communities to gauge their thoughts and concerns or where they are at if we were to move that championship back to the northwest part of the state. So before we do that, we need to get as much information as we can to give to the board.
We're talking with Jason West from MSHSAA. They selected the venues for football for the next couple of seasons. It will not be at the Dome. Can you tell us some of the decision making or the reasons as to why St. Louis was not considered this time?
Well, once the Rams made the decision to move out of state, our staff and the CVC have had several conversations about the Dome and what's going to happen to it. And they've been very forthright in their commitment to keeping the Dome as a football playing venue or at least an option. But in looking at the proposals from Columbia and Springfield and everyone that put in a proposal, the board felt that there was a lot of community support behind those as well. The financial portions of those also were something that really stood out compared to the dome. While we love having that guaranteed 72-degree weather on the day after Thanksgiving and having a roof over our heads, there was a significant price of those that didn't have a roof and that one that did. So the board took that into consideration as well in making the decision that it did.
Well, and you know what, old schoolers will like it. They say football's supposed to be played outside, so this is the way it's going to go.
Exactly, and that's what we hear from a lot of the coaches. We play outside all the way up to the dome, but as we've said before, being inside for that championship game kind of takes a lot of the pressure off of not having to worry about Mother Nature, but and just concentrating on football. But again, we still have to pay for that facility and being able to host those championships at that venue. We needed a little bit more help with that process, and that's what the board saw in the proposals.
Well, Springfield turned out the big winner because they get awarded a 5-year contract for basketball in the Show Me Showdown. So, going out to JQH Arena, talk about that arrangement and when that starts and what that will include for Springfield.
Well, we still have one more year on the contract with Mizzou Arena. So this coming season, the championships will still be played in Columbia at the Mizzou Arena and Hearns Center. Starting with the next school year, which would be the 17-18 school year, there'll be a 5-year contract with the JQH Arena and Hammond Center to host the basketball venue for the next 5 years after one more at Columbia.
Well, in JQH Arena, obviously a beautiful stadium, fairly new, and that must have been attractive for you guys.
Yeah, it's a great setup, as great as the Mizzou Arena and Hearns Center are. The Hammond Student Center and the JQH Arena are that much closer. And so for fans that want to go between the two buildings, you're only talking a matter of feet instead of a matter of yards. For the media that has to cover both venues on that day, there's a walkway between the two buildings that you don't even have to go outside. We can use one media room to accommodate everybody instead of having two separate ones. So there's a lot of positives with the facilities in Springfield have that hopefully will help make it a special experience for everybody.
Jason West joining us from the MIAAA conference down at the Lake of the Ozarks. I guess the other thing that came up was the reclassification and the districts for football, boys and girls basketball this weekend.
We did announce those on Saturday. I had a lot of movement in both sports. There were 3 teams that were Class 1 in the previous cycle, and they chose to move to 8-man football. And so that bumped the number of 8-man teams up to 24, which is a pretty good number for what they've had in the past. But that even those 3 teams just started a ripple effect that when you include the enrollment changes, there was a lot of movement up and down between Class 1, Class 2, Class 3, even all the way up to Class 4. And so all 6 classes of the 11-man saw changes to schools either going up or going up down to a class or moving back up. And so that there was a lot of attention to detail in making sure we had everyone placed where they're supposed to. And then because of the enrollment changes, there were a significant number of changes in basketball as well.
All right, and of course, those are on MSHSAA's website. We have maps and more information linked at MissouriNet.com. Jason, anything else? It's a busy weekend. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Just having a great conference down here, being able to reconnect. We talked with a lot of these ADs on the phone or with the email, and so it's really nice to be able to put face faces with names and see people again that we normally just talk through electronically and not face to face. So we really enjoy our time down here, getting to reconnect with these guys and being able to answer any questions if we have to look stuff up on the website, or help them through things face to face instead of having to talk to them over the phone or email.
And then when does that all wrap up down there?
We've got the rest of the day today, and we'll wrap up with a luncheon tomorrow afternoon. So we'll have a few more breakout sessions in the morning, and then an awards luncheon at the end of tomorrow afternoon.
That's good. And normally what you do with these events is you hold off the prizes and the raffles until the end to get everybody to stick around. But you guys jump right in there. Hey, let's give away prizes Monday morning and get this thing off on the right foot.
Oh, exactly. And they do a great job, because in the exhibit center where we're at, instead of just having a big everybody around the edges, they serpentine through, and so all the athletic directors have to walk by all of the vendors to get back to where the coffee and door prizes are.
Well thought out.
Yeah, that was an excellent plan. So that's what they're doing now. Everybody's coming back from the first breakout sessions, and then they're giving out some door prizes now.
Great stuff. All right, Jason West, thanks for the info on the classification changes and, of course, the new venues for football and basketball. And you can follow our stuff with high school coverage at MissouriNet.com. Jason, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good, Bill.
All right, thanks a lot and have fun, and thanks for watching us here at MissouriNet.com.